John Rasmus here with Rasmus Gaming, playing Shroud of the Avatar. Okay, so I picked up a quest item. A letter from like her dead boyfriend or something. Seda. Maybe her dead husband in the mines. And let's finish this quest. Yikes. I gotta read the stupid note to see if he loved her or not. Let's see. Cancel our engagement, go our separate ways. Yikes. It's a breakup letter. When I'm done with my current tour in the White Guard Silver Mine, I plan on moving to Brucash to attend university. I wish you good life in Solania. Forgive me when. Well, it could be interpreted different ways. Yikes. Yes, and I know they loved you. Yes, yes, but he wrote he didn't love you. Well, just give her this, you know what I mean? He did say loved her at the beginning of the letter. He's technically not lying. 6,000 experience. Ooh, leather chest armor of love +2. Nice. This is the first NPC that's ever given me something that was other than XP or a useless piece of garbage. She actually gave me a piece of armor. Leather chest armor of love +2. Wow. I mean, damage resistance 3. That's not too bad. That's better than what I'm wearing. But I don't like the details. I like the +10% focus that I have. But it's not the worst. Oh, it's leather. You know, it's not the worst piece of armor. I like the 6,000 experience personally. Okay. So this is John Rasmus playing Rasmus Gaming. This is Solania. I was in the mines. But you're just going to see me walking back to Soltown. You know what? I'm overburdened. And I don't want to walk. I'm just going to use my recall scroll. Nah, we're super close. We can walk. Well, let's sell this armor. Weapons and armor. Let's just sell it to these guys over here. What does this guy do? Just an adventurer trainer. Okay, you know what? I just hit 40. Yes. So I can't do that with you. Well, you're no good. Get out of my face. Alright, let's just sell this junk. My backpack's full of stuff. I just came from the mines. Sell off this worthless stuff I don't need. Picked up some books on accident. Okay, well, I think I'm gonna start actually salvaging some of these different things. I have a salvaging rule. If the item is worth less than 20 gold pieces, I salvage it. Chop it in pieces. Get the stuff back out of it. You know, you can get some silver scraps. You can get some cloth scraps, some leather scraps. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be getting some scraps. I don't need any of these bows, except for one of them. Actually, I need one of these bows for my training purposes. So I need the best bow. Crud. I need the best bow. Which one has the best stats? Crud. I don't know which one that is. Dang it. Well, that's a pain when you don't know which one it is. There it is. So when I train on a dummy or a training target, I use a shoddy short bow. And I see these players use good short bows, like one they just paid like 5K for, or maybe they spent like a week crafting. You're destroying your really nice bow when you train. Whenever you train, it gets jacked. In this game, every item gets jacked. 19 gold's close enough, but if it's worth less than 19 gold, I am salvaging it. And I'm not going to jack my super nice bow. I'm going to jack these cruddy items, or salvage them. And this is how you salvage. You walk on over to the crafting station of your particular crafting choice. I'm going to salvage some of these metal objects to get metal scraps, because mining and getting all this ore and ingots is really hard sometimes. It says these boots are worth 55, but that's a lie, because I was just at the NPC and he said it's worth jack nothing. So I'm gonna basically smelt these pieces of metal, armor and weapons. I'm gonna salvage them. Got 1 off that, 3 off that, 4 off that, 7 off that, 1 off that, 5 off that, 4 off that, and now I have 25 metal scraps. And you can use that to make ingots. I've never salvaged leather or cloth, but I'm gonna try that for the first time right now. Let's try to salvage leather and cloth. Let's try the leather first. I've never done this before. Let's see, I know I got some leather. Yeah. Got leather gloves. Do we not have the salvage ability? Interesting. We don't have the salvage, do we? Interesting. Well, I might not have the salvage recipe. Let's see if I have that for the I don't know if it's a recipe or what. I don't know. But I apparently have it for tailoring. So let's do that with my cloth items. It's the first time I've ever salvaged. Oh. So you salvage these all at the tailoring station. See, it's the first time I've ever done it, so I didn't know that. Okay. Can you salvage a coil of rope? I don't know. I have no idea. Let's just click the salvage button and see what happens. We got 4, 4, 4, 10, 4, 4, 3, 6, 7, 4, 3, 6. I like the sound effect it makes. Okay, the coil of rope, nothing, but the fabric scrap of 39, leather scrap of 20. Very nice. Very nice. Depends if you prefer the little bit of gold or the little bit of salvageable. But, you know, it's pretty cool. We got a trainer around here. We have a crafting trainer. This is the crafting trainer. Let's check, see what I got. I trained all day yesterday on tailoring. I have 55 tailoring now, and I just salvaged for the first time, 16 salvaging. I don't have alchemy or cooking or carpentry, but I do have blacksmithing 61 and salvaging 59. I haven't done any repairs with blacksmithing, innate skill, but I don't know how. I don't know how to repair with blacksmithing using the innate skill. I think I need to get a recipe or something for that. I'm not sure. I've even Googled it. I don't know. So this game gets a little complicated, a little bit overly complicated sometimes. But nah, I'm not going to waste my recall scroll. Recall scrolls are pretty valuable. I'm just going to run to Saltown to train. And you're going to watch me as I train very monotonously, very slowly. Now, if you thought this part of the video was boring, who knows? Next part might be equally boring, but just feel the need to put up extremely boring Shroud of the Avatar videos. But it is a fun game. It's very cool. You saw a guy AFK sitting there. This isn't the busiest town in the world. I'm going to go to Saltown. It is a more active town than Solania. Let us walk through the loading screen. Okay, here we go. So I need to get past this swampland with the trees in the way. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see where the path is. I'm moving pretty slow. Unfortunately, I can't use my fast running skill on here. But guess what I can use? I have a new skill called Shadow Form, where I can literally be invisible, even on the overland map. There are monsters on the overland map, and with this invisibility, this is beyond Vanish skill. I trained the Vanish skill all day yesterday, and now I can walk around invisible for a minute. 60 seconds of being invisible is pretty powerful. Loading screen. All right. Do I have the volume down? If so, I didn't mean to. Here we got the music. We got the sound effects, user interface. It's all on maximum. You hit the forward button twice and you can run, but it uses your focus. If you got this rapid discharge skill, you can rapidly discharge your way into running faster. Here's this invisibility skill I was telling you about, but it's more than invisibility. You can walk invisible. Pretty cool skill. So I'm going to turn down the music. Kind of loud. It's kind of loud. I'm going to put on my really cruddy, equip my really cruddy shoddy short bow, because it's gonna get damaged during the process. Oh, but I'm gonna put on my ring and my necklace, which these are damaged pretty badly, but they give me bonuses. Okay. So maybe I can be invisible for longer than 60 seconds, but it's pretty close to 60 seconds. These corpses, these skeletons mean players died here, probably on purpose. That guy's invisible. So that's what I look like when I'm invisible to other players. It's not fully invisible. It's kind of see-through, but monsters supposedly can't see it, but I'm not sure that's the case. Alright. Whoa, we're already on 40-40. We don't need to train this. Awesome. So what we need to do is go to this Archer Master Trainer. And I don't know why everything's being slow, but... hello? I don't know what's going on, but I'm double-clicking the trainer, and his job is to show me what ranged skills. I've already talked to this guy. I've already had all this unlocked. I've already had this unlocked, and now they locked it for no good reason. Interesting. Well, let me see if I can do it over here with this regular trainer. What? Did you see how it was all hidden? So I do need to go to this guy to pay for this, but it's never been hidden like that before. See, that was a glitch. I just found a glitch in the game. So to get rid of the glitch, I just walked around, talked to a different NPC, and came back. Now I can buy rapid fire. Now you can't just casually stroll on over and buy rapid fire. I had to train ranged combat up to level 20. I had to train aimed shot and disabling shot up to level 40. I had to train piercing shot and blinding shot up to level 40. A lot of training, a lot of work. Now I can do rapid fire, yes. So I'm going pretty high up on the archery little skill tree, and I'm gonna open up my combat decks. I have an archery one, which I really was made for training. It wasn't made for anything other than training. And what happened was I was getting my butt kicked by like 5 NPCs, and I didn't have any healing on this thing. We need to keep healing on there just in case. Alright. So we don't really need to train those anymore. I mean, we could, but nah. Get that out of there. We're gonna be putting this brand new rapid fire. Yes. So to be honest, we're training these 5 skills. Confusion for chaos. Death Ray for death magic. Fireflies for moon magic, dodge, so I can have innate skills on my light armor, because now I'm a mage, so I need to wear cloth armor, because it gives you a bonus on casting spells. Rapid fire, yes. Can't wait to test out this rapid fire for the first time. Yes. Now, I can already tell I'm going to run out of arrows very quickly. But arrows are dirt cheap. And run. This guy sells 144 arrows for 12 gold. That's a pretty good deal. I don't know how many I'm going to buy. I'm just going to buy 336 gold worth of arrows. You can see before I have only 279 arrows in my backpack, for 336 gold, which is not that much gold at all. It's a very low amount of gold. I just went from 276 arrows to 4,311 arrows. So it's very cheap and easy. And this is me training. This is the training process. You can get a better view of it. This is a pretty popular place to train. And when you train in town on these practice targets, further up your skills. And it's a bit loud. It's a bit loud. Maybe turn down the sound effects a little bit. But this is the process. It's a very monotonous process, most definitely, but I'll tell you one thing. I've never seen a game in my life where you can master skills and train them to the maximum in town at a practice target. I've never seen that. Usually you can only train it, you know, a certain percentage. Like Ultima Online, you can only train it a certain percentage. In this game, you can train it to the maximum in town, but it takes a long time, and you can't just train it to the maximum without doing anything. I have a pooled experience after killing monsters of 22,676 pooled experience. So that experience is going to go down every time I train skills. So yes, you do have to leave town and kill monsters, and then come back and train. Leave town, kill monsters, come back and train. And that's the process of this game. As far as skill caps, I haven't come across any skill caps. So I think technically speaking, you can train everything if you replenish your skill pool by killing monsters over and over. So these are just the 5 skills I need to master. Okay, I need to pin this, let's see. We're going to unpin these 2. We're going to pin that. Because we're only going to be pinning the ones that matter. So let's get rid of those 2. And it's cool, you get to see the progress on the side of your bar. I have 29 for fireflies. 31 for Death Ray, 14 for Confusion, 19 for Dodge. Some of these take 30-second cooldowns, which is very long. What is this one? 15-second. That's not too bad. 30 seconds the worst. Okay. So I just hit level 30 on Fireflies. When I hit level 40 on Fireflies, I can. Let me show you. Fireflies is a moon magic skill. And it basically causes the NPC you're targeting to have less this and that. The max average damage of critical hits changes so you can easier hit them, whatnot, whatever. But the reason people train Fireflies to level 40 is when you hit level 40 on that, you can now train Meteor Shower, and that's what I want to train for. Meteor Shower. That is a total wizard skill. Kill monsters, Meteor Shower. So over here I trained Vanish to level 40. Now I have Shadow Form level 22. And then there's Night Step. Teleport to selected target during the night. Behind your target. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But I'm not going to train every one of these moon things, not yet. I did train dash so I could run fast. And now I have blink. I trained dash to 40, now I can blink. Blink is a skill from a game called Serpent Isle. Ultima 7 Part 2, an amazing 90s video game on the PC. And blink is a skill that actually, I'm not sure the Avatar ever had access to. There's an NPC in the game that had a blink ring. I can't remember if blink was in the spell book, but I know blink was a spell. It was a very rare spell. Perhaps only that NPC had it. She could blink in and out of the screen. Well, now you can have blink, the skill, in this game. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool skill. I trained it up to level 28, but it's not something I need to focus on. You can basically just target as far as you can on the screen behind an NPC or just in the future if you want to skip running, but I think running might be a little bit faster. But in cases where you're getting covered by monsters, blink could be useful to get out of a jam. So my death magic, the reason I'm training Death Ray right now, level 31, I need it to be level 40, because at level 40 I can train Death Shield. And let's face it, I don't care about Death Shield. I don't care about Death Ray. I don't care about Death Touch. Alright? I'm training all these things for the singular purpose of summoning a Lich. Yeah, summon Lich. Now that's pretty cool when I can summon a Lich. And of course I'm training Chaos for the singular purpose of being able to summon a freaking demon. This is just a video game. I don't practice magic in real life. I don't take any of this video game magic outside the video game world into the real world, ever, obviously. But yeah, I can see some people being inspired by video game magic, but those are going to be the same people that take everything in a video game outside of a video game. People like that are simply going to exist. You can't really stop that. Because they can watch a movie and they'll take what they saw in the movie and put it in the real world. They can, you know, some people are just easily influenced by different mediums, different things. But I have to unequip so I can raise up my focus. I have a good amount of focus. I have 417 focus thanks to all this stuff I'm wearing, a lot of extra focus bonuses. This is the armor I crafted yesterday on my first try crafting epic cloth armor. +2, +2, +2, +2, +1 on my first try. So tailoring is very easy. To get to this skill, all I needed to do was craft a couple dozen boots or shoes. Very easy compared to blacksmithing. And I got the cotton from picking it, but I also got the cotton from the public vendor. I bought a bunch from there. I went around, looked at the NPC or the player vendors. I bought a bunch from there. I bought like 1,000 cotton yesterday. So yes, it was dirt cheap compared to ingots, I'll tell you that. Ingots are extremely expensive, extremely valuable, but cotton, lucky for me, is cheap and easily affordable. I'd say it's cheaper than it is buying it than picking it, because picking it, you might spend an hour to pick 50 cotton, whereas you can buy 100 cotton for 500 gold. It just seems like it's easier to buy it if you can find it for that much or less. I found it as cheap as 400 gold yesterday for 100 cotton. But this is the training process. It can get a little bit boring. but it's pretty fun. I mean, I'm sure some people bought this. I'm sure some people illegally macro it. It wouldn't be too tough to do so. But they have implements in place to be able to tell that. I don't know if they do or not. I think they do. If they saw me run the same pattern for 5 hours straight, they'd probably be a little suspicious that I'm not doing this manually. So I never click anything in any exact order, and manually it'd be pretty tough to do so. But with a bot program, it would be exactly in the same order every time, and yeah. So with Chaos Magic, I'm wasting Chaos or Obsidian chips every time I cast. But perhaps because of bonuses, I don't waste a chip every time. I don't know the exact formula for that, but I'm glad I don't waste one every time. I need to buy some Obsidian chips. Those are the Obsidian chips I've collected over the past couple days. But I admit, when I started, I didn't know what an Obsidian chip was. So I just sold them. But I'm never going to sell them now. Okay, level 30, 32, 16, 21. Wait a second. We're 21? Yes. And that's why we do this. Alright. 20 is what I needed for light armor to be trained, not an evasion, forget that, not an escape, forget that, but in swiftness, the innate skill of swiftness. Swiftness, yeah. It's interesting. I wonder, you know what? I'm going to have to train these up and then train them down. Just so I can get this swiftness to go up. Yep, that's what I'm doing. That's one thing I've learned. If you don't like a skill, train it. Just to get that innate skill. With that innate skill, at level 40, I can have aerobatics where I can freaking do somersaults. When you can do freaking somersaults at level 40, it's not enough. You need to do somersaults to level 80, and then you get light armor specialization, light armor combat innate skill. The light armor specialization, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. All you need to know is innate. Means you don't need to do nothing. You sit back and relax, and it's innately already built in. So I need to train these and that, everything. Do I want to train dodge though? Let's take dodge off the table right now. Let's start training these two stupid things, because I only have so much skill pool experience of 20,000. You would think 20,000 is a lot, but I had like 40,000 yesterday, and I cut through it pretty quick. So I'm going to change my combat deck to include the new light armor skills, escape and evasion, which should be at 0 or 1. This is how I train. These are the skills I choose. Archery. Oh my gosh. I accidentally got my archery deck mixed up with my magic deck. Okay. So, alright. Light armor needs escape and evasion. Alright. I was using both decks for the same purpose, basically. Training. Yes. So the more I train these light armor skills, the more I'm going to have this innate ability. I'm never going to use these light armor skills in combat ever. It's never going to happen. Because I already have other skills to evade monsters, such as blink, where I can just blink behind them. Now, it might fizzle out being a magic spell, but basically everything's a magic spell in the whole game. Whether it's in the magic category or not, everything acts like a magic spell. Okay, I'm increasing my weapon preservation. That's an innate skill, which is very valuable, very useful. So these are the skills I need to train. Surprised innate light armor hasn't gone up yet. That's okay. It's not a big deal. And when I run out of skill pool skills points, I can simply put these two light armor skills down to 0. I could train them down to 0, and then I can train them back up again. When it's a skill you know you're never going to use, and it's not innate, I train them up and down just for the innateness. Okay, my innate just went up. Now I can run a little bit faster, and that's the reason I'm training these two. Pretty kick butt. Level 2, I can now run a little bit faster. Move rate goes up, so there's a lot of bonuses to light armor. You can run faster, and when a game is pretty big, and the map is fairly big in this game. The map is fairly big. When the map is as big as it is, running, trust me, there are many games where I wish I could have a running skill or a running spell. Like Star Wars: The Old Republic. The maps in that game are so huge. I needed to buy a vehicle so I can hover across the screen. And even with those vehicles, the maps were still too big. Need to train up my focus. I do have a death skill that turns my life into focus, but I'm not training that right now, so I'm not going to use that. But my innate swiftness, running faster, is going up, and that's very cool. I want that thing maxed out. I want to be able to run faster than everyone in the whole game. Look at this skill. Makes me run faster. And now with this light armor skill, even better. Here's my invisibility, shadow form. This is pretty useful. Other players can see me. But monsters supposedly can't. Okay, I'll show you the blink. This is blink. This is a skill from Serpent Isle. I can only go that far. But it's pretty cool, you gotta admit. If you're stuck behind a monster or stuck... You know what? Wow, I just realized. I accidentally fall through the cracks sometimes. There are a few areas in the game where you can fall through the mountain crack and you're stuck. And you gotta use the unstuck feature. Perhaps with this blink skill, I never have to use that ever again. I can just blink my way out of it. Like Sabrina. Or, what's that witch show called? Sabrina? I can just blink my way out of it. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Bewitched Yeah, that show called Bewitched. That's what I was thinking of. Okay, I'm already level 3 of swiftness. I'm already running a little bit faster. So there's a lot of cool skills in the game. You can run invisible. You could run faster. You can, if you can do this fireflies enough times. Seems like a worthless little skill, but you can shoot meteorites down at your enemy if you get this to level 40. So it's most definitely worth using some skills in some magic schools, and then mastering entire magic schools if you just really like that school. I'm thinking of mastering chaos magic and death magic. And I'm thinking of maybe just using a few features of moon magic, but we will see. Maybe I'll use all of moon magic. You don't know what the skills, how useful they are until you really get a handle on them and have full access to them. So my skill pool is 17,500. You saw it be 20,000 not too long ago. So I just used 3,000 in a pretty short period of time, or 2,500. It goes pretty fast. And it's very monotonous, and there's a character named I'm Japanese, and he's quite the role player, because that's his role-playing name. I'm is his first name, and his last name is Japanese. But, you know, there are more players. It's just hard to get used to the social aspect. Like, here's where people would chat with me, and I never use this for chat, ever. But I will in the future, perhaps. This is the social, and look at all these people that asked to be my friend. Freddy Krueger wants to be my friend. Of course, Freddy Krueger. Sounds like a nice guy. I mean, what could go wrong? So let's be friends with that guy. Iniliki Walpurga. That's quite the role-playing name. Let's say yes to that. Lethe Walpurga. Okay. Luna Spellsprite. Sounds like a Harry Potter name. Luna Spellsprite. Alright. Midnight Lifestealer. Well, that's, you know, that's one way to go. So I'm friends with all these people now. And these friends are online. I think. Are they? No? Oh, these are my new friends. These are offline friends. And these ones are off. No? Are these ones online? Okay, I think these ones are online. I'm not sure. I'm still new to the game concerning the social aspect. I've never joined a single party. I like to train solo until I'm worth kicking butt. I can't even kill a lich. I swear, by the time I can kill a lich, I'll be able to summon a lich. Maybe I'll kill a lich with a lich. That's one way to do it, you know? When you train these skills enough, you can do them multiple times in a row, making them easier to train. Trying to click a skill, accidentally clicked the chat window. Alright. You know, you got cooldowns, you gotta wait. It's just the basic training, but it's not basic, because I've never seen a game where you can just drain your skill pool in town at the practice target. So in that aspect, possibly the most social aspect of the game is right here training. I'm not joking. Right here training is the equivalent of the bank. And sure, the bank can be a popular place too. But because every bank has its own items separated from other banks in the game, It makes the banks a little bit less popular, unless it's a popular town. Salt Town is a very popular town, and we're almost level 31 of Fireflies. We need this to be level 40. 10 more levels to go. We need this to be level 40. 8 levels to go. We need this to be level 20. Ooh. Only 3 levels to go. Not bad, but I'm running low on obsidian chips. 20 left. Rapid fire, I need this to be, I can't remember if it's 40 or 80. Need it to be pretty high. Swiftness is just innate. I don't need anything to be anything, but it would be nice if that was maxed out. I'm just so new to the game concerning actually training for the first time that I don't even know what the maximum is. Is it 100? I don't know. Maybe? Maybe it's more than 100? I'm not sure. I've never gotten a skill up to 100. So, I don't know what the maximum is. But I do have pole arms skill to 74 because I noticed it's a little bit more powerful than blades. I got blades up to 85. But I noticed archery's the best of all of them. In my opinion, weapon-wise, archery's the best. I got it trained up to 65, but I got the skill tree down pretty far. Even farther than blades. I could train blades more, and I probably will, and I should, but I haven't played with blades ever since I realized archery is superior. And that's just my opinion. I just like archery, because I can usually kill the monster before it gets to me. And if I can kill the monster before it gets to me, it means he barely touches my armor. And if he barely touches my armor, then I don't need heavy armor. And if I don't need heavy armor, then I can wear cloth armor. And if I can wear cloth armor, I might as well be a mage and just kick butt without the monsters killing me. It's really nice, perhaps psychologically, when you can kill a monster before it touches you. And trust me, when I was fighting with my sword, and I trained it very high. You saw I trained it to like 85. Killing monsters with a sword is very slow. It should be faster than it is, but it's not. It's very slow. Very slow process. You can kill more monsters at the same time type of thing, I noticed. But it still seems kind of slow. Maybe high up with magic attributed to it. Maybe then. Because I even did have the fire on my sword. Even then it didn't seem to do much damage. So I'm gonna take a guess that archery and magery combined might be a super powerful combo. I'm now level 5 of swiftness. You can't see anything, so I'm gonna turn on night vision. Very cool skill. It's not called night vision though. What's it called? It's not letting me see what it's called until it cools down. So, you know, this is a pretty popular town. Here's a guy wearing what I used to wear. And he's a polearm guy. Polearms were very popular in the early beta of this game. People PvP'd with polearms because magic wasn't fully finished yet. But polearms was seen obviously as the most powerful two-handed weapon. And archery wasn't fully formed yet either. So during the early beta, polearms was the best weapon in the game. And PvP, a lot of people were polearm experts. Probably why I got polearm. But archery kicks butt. And I gotta say, this Chaos skill looks pretty cool. So maybe Chaos Magic looks the coolest. Chaos Magic is most definitely the most exclusive, because you can't buy obsidian chips from NPCs. I get them as loot, but you can buy them from other players. Level 33 of Death Ray. And why am I showing you the extreme monotonous process? I don't know. If you see me practicing at the targets, I'm not AFK. I'm sitting right here. I don't bot. I've never botted my entire life. The only time I've ever had a macro was when it was legal in Ultima Online for fishing. And fishing was such a slow process that I get on my boat, and I did set up a very detailed macro for fishing. My character would fish and then hide, and then walk to one end of the boat, fish and hide, walk to the other end of the boat, fish and hide. But I would manually move my boat every 30 minutes or every hour, or every couple hours. That's how I became a Grandmaster Fisherman in Ultima Online. The second time. The first time I became a Master Fisherman just by sitting right there at the seashore in Britain. And I would fish right there next to the butcher shop, and I became a Master Fisherman overnight. Then they changed it. That was when fishing was brand new. They changed it where you needed to be in the deep sea with sea serpents and sea monsters and krakens to be able to train beyond journeyman or whatever. So they changed it where to become a Grandmaster Fisherman, you had to train in the deep sea. So that's why the second time I had to do it in the deep sea on a boat. But the first time I became a master just by right there on the shore. And I remember leaving it on all night, not even a complex macro. There is a macro in the game, but maybe I used a different one. It's legal for fishing, for the most part, in Ultima Online. And I remember I had like 50 boots and shoes in my backpack. You would fish up shoes and boots. And I fished up a bunch of bottles, actually, SOSs, when it was brand new. But back to Shroud of the Avatar. Yes, this is a grindy process, most definitely. I'm not going to say otherwise. And it's very time consuming. We're down to 14,000 skill pool. I like the ability to run faster, I'll tell you that. I'm going to max out this swiftness because I just like running faster. Swiftness is level 6. At level 26, I'm 3.5 plus % move rate and attack speed. Wow. So I can shoot arrows faster or more. That's very cool. There's like a combat deck system, and I never liked it, never used it. This is how I play the game. Or I just have it, here's the skill, I click on it, I use it. I don't like the deck system. If I had to guess, and this is just a guess, I don't have the deck system, you're not going to see it, but in these slots where these skills are, the deck system is random skills will pop up like a deck of cards. Like the game Magic the Gathering. And if I had to take a stab in the dark, the creators of the game, either the designer, Chris Spears, or the main guy, Richard Garriott, I know Garriott is a fan of Magic the Gathering. Chris Spears probably is too. But it was probably Garriott's idea. He's like, hey, I like the deck system. I want decks involved. I like Magic the Gathering. I want to incorporate some type of decks And it was a decent concept, but in practice, I don't use it. I don't like random skills popping up like a deck of cards, shuffling them, and then pulling out a random card. I don't like that. Unless I'm playing a card game or a game that's simulating a card game. In a game like this, we're beyond the simulation of a card game process. And Garrett's a huge fan of Dungeons & Dragons. And a game like this simulates Dungeons & Dragons. You don't need the monotonous piece of paper with the score sheet. You don't need the piece of paper with the stats of this and that. You don't need the little piece that you move from space to space. You don't need the game master. This simulates all of that without any of that stuff. It's the reason why games are fun. Games are fun because they don't need to go back in time and simulate a board game or a card game. Now, some people love board games and card games, and some people love the simulation of board games and card games. But me, I was never a fan of Dungeons & Dragons. I played it once. I played D&D once in my life. That's it. And I won my first time. I played a gnome wizard or something. And my gnome wizard kicked butt. And I was like, I beat the game. And it was a legit game with legit nerds who knew how to play. I guess I just got lucky. Beginner's luck. But the thing is, I beat it, game over, never have to play it again. As far as Magic the Gathering, I've only played it once. It was a couple months ago. I played it once for the first time, like 7 months ago. And I almost won my first time. And the guy I was playing against was so mad. I could tell he was mad. And I'll tell you how I know he's mad. Because I almost beat him on my first try. I told him, I've never played this game. I avoided this game like the plague. In high school, the nerdy kids would play it. I never played it. I was like, I'm good. Any game where you had to go out and buy some decks and then mess up those decks. I did collect baseball cards and basketball cards. And I have some Michael Jordan cards. And I have some Ken Griffey Jr. cards. Darryl Strawberry, Doc Gooden, Mark McGuire, Magic Johnson, Scottie Pippen. So I still have some baseball cards and basketball cards from when I was a kid. And you put them in a sleeve and you kept them in mint condition. At Magic the Gathering, you play with them and they get all crinkly and messed up. So maybe coming from a baseball card and a basketball card background and a sports background, I loved playing baseball, I loved playing basketball. I didn't get the concept of buying cards just to get them all messed up. I didn't get it. And then Pokemon came out and Yu-Gi-Oh came out. And it was just a ripoff of Magic. It was the same thing. But this supposed genius Magic the Gathering player, now maybe he's good at it, okay? He's been playing it for many years, but I almost beat him on my first try, and it made him mad. And I'll tell you how I can prove it made him mad. He asked me to play with him like 15 times. I said, maybe one day. When I finally did play with him, I almost beat him, and then he never asked me to play ever again. And on top of that, he got my deck, and he put my deck in a special set so he could have my deck memorized, because my deck apparently was that good. And then he never asked me to play ever again. So that's proof that he was mad. So, I mean, I could figure out strategies pretty quickly. I actually used a poker strategy. I like Texas Hold'em. I like poker better than fantasy card games. I like poker. So, you know, I played a number of times Texas Hold'em here and there. I played Texas Hold'em in a casino setting only 2 times at 2 different casinos. And I lasted a decent amount of time. I lasted an hour here and an hour there at a table during a tournament. And lasting an hour in a casino setting tournament is pretty good. Pretty good. But there are card sharks that I'm doing it professionally the whole lives, and I couldn't compete with them. But it's fun. I like to play for fake chips rather than real chips. It's fun. And if you're playing with the fake chips and you have the mindset that they're real, you tend to play a little bit better. I have a cousin who plays really good, even with, he plays exactly the same with real chips as he plays with fake chips. And that's why he's good, because he never changes his mindset of when to hold and when to fold. But, you know, I'm a big fan of games. This is probably the most boring video ever, but I just wanted to show you my training process. I'm gonna be the best. Chaos magic, moon magic, death magic archer this game's ever seen. And then maybe, just maybe, and I'll mention that at some other time, but you know, it's just a Sunday afternoon, and it's 1:04 p.m. my time, and you know, I'm just kicking back, training my guy. In this game, I'm playing the online mode. I only play the online mode. I never play single player when online mode is an option. But in this game, monsters are twice as tough in the online mode. So you have to train like this. If you don't train this tough, you come across an ogre or a dragon or a freaking demon. I haven't even come across even a tiny lich I can't kill. So that's why I'm training. Because the liches and everything else are twice as strong in online mode. And the reason they're twice as strong is so when you're in a party with a bunch of friends, it doesn't seem too easy. But the problem with that is the huge backfiring of when you're solo, everything's too tough. So you have to be extra tough to overcompensate for that. Kick butt, take names. But, you know, I'm training my death up so I can summon a lich. Training my moon up so I can cast meteor shower. Perhaps I will train my fire up so I could summon a fire elemental or have a ring of fire or fireball or something. And I did train water, and then I untrained it because I needed the skill points. But I still have the innate 7 icy breath. And with that innate 7 icy breath, I now have some resistance, I think, to water magic. So if I come across, let's say, a water elemental, it will do less damage to me than if I didn't have some of that innate skill. So there's a lot of cool, intricate aspects to the magic system. I would say the magic system in this game is pretty cool. It's pretty fun. I'm liking it. I think it's pretty fun. I'm still new. I'm learning, you know. But basically, you just grind and train your butt off until, yeah, you're the best kick butt player in the game. So I don't want to bore you with the extreme monotonous details beyond this, but this is training a Shroud of the Avatar. And it's a process you have to do. Now you can train 100% killing monsters, but some skills, like fireflies, you're not going to want to firefly every monster that comes in your face. You're going to want to kill the monsters that come in your face. But with this practice target, you don't have to kill it. You're not threatened by it. It's not going to attack back. So you're free to firefly it. These low skills that seemingly don't do much, but later on you can cast a meteor shower and are very useful to train up. But until next time, this has been John Rasmus with Rasmus Gaming, playing Shroud of the Avatar. Check it out. It's funner than perhaps the reviews have said. Until next time, this has been John Rasmus. Be seeing you.